So what do you do when you've invested in a mentor in marketing for your business and it hasn't worked out and you feel as though you've really been burnt? How do you handle this situation? Well, I've got a lot of people who've come to me recently who've been saying, this is exactly what's happened to me. I've invested money in my marketing, I've invested in a mentor, and it didn't work for me. And I'm really nervous about investing again. And I wanted to make this video to just talk about what you can do if you're in that position, because the thing is that we all need to invest in our business. We all need to invest in ourselves and learn the skills we need to be able to grow our businesses. And if you've been through investing, thousands of pounds in some cases in a mentor, maybe in a marketing agency or anything of that nature, and it hasn't worked out, I totally understand how frustrating that must be and how painful that is as well. Because I've also been there myself. I've made investments and they haven't worked out. They haven't produced the results that I was hoping for. But what I've learned from that experience is that it's really important to look at the lesson from what came out of that investment, because that can lead you to making the right decision next time. But what happens is a lot of us just kind of go into this contraction and we don't want to make that same mistake, and we just stay stuck in the place of fear that we don't move forwards. But the problem is that means that that's going to limit you from then being able to move forwards with your business and achieve the goals that you want to achieve, and do the things for your business you want to do. So here's my advice if you're in this situation, and I've been in this situation before, so this is what's worked for me. What I recommend you do if you've been burnt before is that you look at the experience that you had and you write down on a piece of paper. So you just take a piece of paper and you put a line down the middle, and on one side you write down what worked for me, and the other side you put what didn't work for me. Okay, and then you write all the things about your experience with that mentor, with that marketing agency, or whoever it was, all the things that worked for you and the things that didn't work for you, and you just write them down. Because once you get it on paper, it's going to feel emotionally like you've lifted a weight off you, because it's down on paper rather than just being like kind of tight inside you and all that fear is like wrapped up. Once you can see it on paper, you can then learn from that experience, and it will help you to decide what is going to be right for you moving forward. So who's the right person for you to invest in, and what the right type of mentoring that you need based on what you learned from your previous experience that didn't work out. So if you're in this situation, I would recommend you do this process. And in my experience, there are a few things to look for when you are choosing someone to work with as a mentor for you, especially in the area of helping you with your marketing and with client attraction. And the first thing I would look at is, how are they going to teach you? What's the teaching style? Is it just a case that there's going to be hundreds of people on calls and you're just going to be one of many and you're not going to be able to ask any questions? Or is it going to be a small intimate group where you're going to get you're going to get the opportunity to ask your questions every week, and you're going to get heard, and you're going to have a relationship with your mentor? Or is it a marketing agency and they're just going to do the work for you? So what kind of a style is it that you're approaching, and what is going to work best for you based on what you know about how you learn best, and based on your business and what's going to work best for your business. And the other thing is, I'd ask yourself, what is the strategy that's going to be right for me? So if it's marketing that you're investing in, what's the marketing strategy that is right for my business and my audience? And so with social media, different platforms are right for different audiences. So if you've got to think to yourself, is my audience on this social media platform? And is the strategies that they're going to be teaching me one that's going to work for me in my business? And if you don't know that information about what the strategy is that they're using, then I would recommend you get that information. So I always give a free webinar that absolutely nails down exactly what my strategy is with LinkedIn and how I help my clients to generate appointments and gain clients through LinkedIn. It's all there in my free webinar, and I go through each part of the strategy in that webinar. So if someone's coming to me and they're wondering what the strategies I'm using, they just watch my free webinar, and then they know exactly what I'm going to be teaching them. So that's what you want to find out. And the other thing that you want to do is find out, what's their track record? So what is the mentor that you're thinking about working with? What's their track record with other students that they've taught this strategy to? You know, if it's an agency, what's their track record with others like you, and have they worked with similar business owners to the type of business owner that you are as well? And I think it makes a difference. If you're a coach or a consultant, it does help to have someone who is specialized in that niche and who actually is working just with coaches and consultants, because it's different from other types of businesses. So those are the different areas that I would recommend you think about to help you get over your fear and feel comfortable investing again. And you know, I really want you to like move through that process, because I know what it's like to be stuck in that place of fear, but I also know that to achieve the results you want, you're going to need to get help. You're going to need to get through this fear, and this is a process you can use to help you do that. So best of luck, and I look forward to hearing how you get on.